Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and I got a new shirt on. Oh, look who it is. Yeah. I wish I had gotten this sooner. It was, I got it at a thrift store recently. Like $3. It was pretty great. It's before Christmas, not after. Anyway, today we have the Enchanted Christmas Cake. Yeah, this is from 2021. It's an hour and 26 minutes long, 2 minutes shorter than most every other Lifetime movie, Christmas movie on Disney Plus currently. And by the way, there's so many other Lifetime movies that are not Christmas on Disney Plus, but we'll probably not get to those later. Anyway, this is yet another Christmas movie out of that Lifetime stack that I'm going to be going through a lot of this month. Just so in case you don't know, all month, every episode in December 2025 is going to be Christmas themed, holiday themed. And I try to group some of these somewhat by specific themes. Like last couple days ago, it was based on jobs, like a radio station or a beauty salon, things like that. This one, I figured it would be things that are more magical or maybe enchanted. It turns out that it's not the case. There's nothing enchanted about this. There is an enchanted Christmas cake, but it's really more of a family heirloom, a story that our main character, Gwen, played by Erica Durance. You know her as Lois Lane from Smallville, and she's done plenty of other stuff, but that's what I know her from the most. Because I watched that whole series. Yeah, I did. So what we get here is Gwen. She had a grandma who passed away not too long ago, and she had this fantastic recipe for a Christmas cake that supposedly helped people fall in love. And no, it's not like Simply Irresistible. I don't know if you remember that film. Possibly one of the worst films ever. I watched it only because I like Sarah Michelle Gellar, and even she couldn't save it. It was pretty awful. Anyway, it has nothing to do with that. There's no magical qualities. There's no magic crab with a top hat blessing the food she cooks, the cake she makes, in order to make people fall in love when they eat it. No, in this case, it's just part of the story of how her grandmother and her grandfather met. And she's in a pinch because this is her first time making the cake by herself, and part of the recipe is missing. It's like one of the ingredients is missing, and she cannot figure out what it is. And so that sort of is a pinch. And the grandmother, I guess, is pretty well known for this cake. I really don't know. I don't recall. She must be famous enough that there's a very popular TV chef coming to their small town to do an episode. Originally it was meant to be with Grandma, but since she passed, it is now falls upon Gwen to perform this or share this cake, at least make it on the show. The chef really just wants to steal it, wants to steal the recipe, even though she doesn't have the whole thing. And she's in a pinch, she's in a bind, trying to make it work. This guy is coming to town, and he's like, I'm going to try to make this my own thing and market it and sell it as some sort of frozen baking thing. Like, he would have just marketed the crap out of it and made it worthless, made it just awful, because he's an opportunist. Well, as he's coming to town, his producer, I'm not going to tell you the whole story, but I might as well. You know the structure of these films. It's two people from different places, not sure they like each other, but they're brought together by these circumstances, and they fall in love. Very often they fall in love after literally bumping into each other and spilling coffee on each other. The meet cute continues, and then as much as they struggle against the idea of actually falling in love, they certainly do. In this case, it's not too hard. These two get along pretty well. He's Gavin, played by Robin Dunn. And he seems like a good enough guy. He's the producer for the show, and he's kind of handles the talent. Let's just say the talent is Dante. He's the chef. He's played by Paulino Nunez, and he he wears a wig, he wears a hairpiece for pretty much the entire film, and he somehow believes he's so self-involved. He somehow believes that people think it's real. Even his closest producer is one of his closest and probably only friends. He's a jerk for the most part. He's comic relief throughout this because he's just so absurd that it makes it he provides the laughs, the humor. And sure, there's plenty of humor otherwise. As the patter begins, as it often does with these kind of stories. But yeah, everybody just has to handle the celebrity talent while he's also on a mission to steal the cake recipe by having her reveal it, or have somebody else reveal it to him that might also know the recipe within her family. All that stuff. There's a lot going on. But it's not just, it's that story, as I was starting to say. They meet, they fight against falling in love, they fall in love, and about an hour into the film, because these are all an hour and a half long, just after the hour point, there is betrayal. That's what happened in each of these films. The structure is very tight and very consistent. Sometimes you get double betrayals, but at least a single betrayal where our hero or heroine here, Gwen, or the person she's falling in love with, betrays her. But again, all the heroines, the heroes of any of these Christmas stories is usually female. It's usually, unless it's like a down on his luck single dad. Well, he's one of those too, but he has dreams, but he's being held down by having to be the producer for this awful guy's show. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff going on here. Yes, his daughter does show up, and she is kind of the glue that helps bring them together, because she's a good kid. She's 13, going on 35, as Dad says. And she helps in trying to discover what along with her best friend, of course, who is also useful for exposition in a colorful way of almost performing the story of how her grandmother and grandfather met. So best friend, exposition, kid makes this guy endearing and brings an extra connection. They do fall in love pretty quickly, pretty easily, but again, with an hour and a half, I guess it seemed quicker than I'm used to, or I'm just so used to the structure that any little deviation really sticks out. Like they may fall in love 3 minutes sooner than some of the other films, but I really don't know. We're going to find out how consistent this structure is as what is going on here? I watch many, many more of these types of films from Lifetime. You know what I'm talking about. These Christmas films, they just dump on us. It's not just them; it's Hallmark, and there's a few other networks that do these kind of things. But it's mainly Lifetime and Hallmark are known for these kind of things, and they're predictable, comfort food for the eyes, basically, for people who are maybe feeling a little bit lonely at Christmas time, or they just want to step into the spirit where people interact with one another in a way that just shouldn't work out, but in the end it does. And it's always going to end that way. It's always going to be a good ending. So you can watch certain other films that come out these days that don't really have, you don't know that it's going to work out at the end always. Or at least not the way you want it to. It's always going to work out the way you want it to when you watch these films. It's just the format. Just saying. So it's got a good cast. It's, again, predictable, but it's somewhat of a different formula. I don't know. I can't, again, there's no situation where I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, this really breaks the mold. I would love that. I would love that to happen, but I am not holding my breath. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen anytime soon. So yeah, definitely, here's one more. If you want to check these out, these Christmas movies that are on Disney Plus, here's one more for you to enjoy. The Enchanted Christmas Cake. I was excited when I saw it was Erica Durance, because I liked her as Lois. But, yeah, because she has a good sense of humor, as well as, she's strong-headed. It's not just the character, but Erica, of course, performs her well. Lois was a or has always been a strong-headed woman. So yeah, she seemed right for the part, and she's right for this one. Yeah. I mean, again, hey, it makes you good money. There's people, like, especially on Hallmark, where they just recycle the same actors. This is the first time I've seen Erica in any of these, but I'm sure she's done others. Maybe we'll find out as we get later on in the month. Who knows who's going to show up? I certainly don't. I know which ones I've picked. I know which ones there are. We're actually watching all of the Christmas Lifetime movies, all of them. It fit perfectly within the month, mixed with the other stuff that I'm watching for Christmas that are shorts and live performances and things like that. So, yeah. All that fun. So what are we going to watch tomorrow? Oh, I closed the app. Tomorrow is Sincerely, Truly Christmas. I know, it doesn't sound like us. No, it absolutely does sound like this. Come on. Switch to a different tab. Show me all this stuff. Oh my gosh. What is going on? You just trust me. I'm pretty sure it is Sincerely, Truly Christmas. On the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.